And frankly, they basically sold, your kids down the river for some extra money. Welcome back. Be sure to subscribe. Let's get right to it. First topic. Well, the Doge team has found just more insane fraud, this time with unemployment. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
Unemployment insurance fraud. That trust needs to be whole for the American people. When we need it for who deserves it. That's not what we're seeing. In the numbers that we saw last night, again, exposed by our partners at Doge at the Department of Labor. Since 2020, over $400 million of payments have gone out already. And when you hear these numbers, apparently in the United States, we have over almost 25,000 people who are over 115 years old who are collecting $59 million that we have sent out to people. Talk about fraudulent behavior. Mr. President, 28,000 people between 1 and 5 years old have collected fraudulent payments at the tune of $254 million has gone out. And lastly, 10,000 people who have not been born yet, 15 years into the future, $69 million, and they haven't even been born yet. In one case, they will be born 129 years from now. The United States government sent them $41,000, and they're not born yet. So, under the Department of Labor, those are the things that we're uncovering. I couldn't be more honored to tell the American people that we're bringing back their dollars and we're saving them and returning them to the United States Treasury.
Isn't it funny how we're finding out that basically every government agency is corrupt and somebody has their hand in the cookie jar and it just completely needs to be overthrown? Basically every government agency that's giving out money or anything needs to be completely overthrown, probably needs to be just completely removed and then redone. You might be able to fix it, but basically they're probably going to just need to be removed from the government and reinstituted in some other way that cannot be corrupted in the manner that they've been corrupted. It's insane that there's 400 million for people getting fake unemployment, and people who haven't even been born yet are collecting unemployment. And doesn't that just seem completely just real? In today's government, especially this is since 2020, so the Biden government, of course, people who haven't been born yet are getting unemployment. It's just, who are the people getting the money? And let's go ahead and, make sure they're not doing this type of crap anymore. If they need to be prosecuted, let's prosecute them. Whoever made the corruption in all these agencies, find it, prosecute them. We need to get everything good, streamlined again so that America can thrive and be successful and not just be brought down at every single avenue that there could possibly be brought down with. But all right, let's get to the next topic. So a helicopter crashed into the Hudson River. 6 people died. Go ahead, take a look at the clip. Yeah, all these airplane, helicopter crashes these days, it's getting a little weird, right? It's getting a little weird. But this one, apparently there was some sort of CEO and his family on board. So his whole family of 5 died and the pilot died. So that's pretty crazy, obviously. But anytime a CEO or a high-ranking official of a company is on board, don't you kind of at least have to be a little skeptical? Think who wanted that guy dead? You know what I'm saying? And I guess his wife might have been some sort of high profile person too. I don't know. This is just all what I've heard so far, remember. So just take it with a grain of salt. But if this is the case, there's probably some foul play there with the CEO on board. But it could just be complete negligence. So we'll have to see how well was this aircraft taken care of, or did somebody need to be offed so that, the company could move forward, basically. We're just going to need to find the answers. We need the whole black box to come out and just, I guess, if it is negligence or some sort of, FAA problem, ladies and gentlemen, let's get the DEI people who just know nothing out of there. You know, I don't think that this could be the case. It certainly could be negligence with the helicopter company, but God, I hope it's not one of those DEI situations. Those are always the worst. Having your family just get offed because of DEI, you know, that's got to be the worst thing ever for somebody to, you know, the family members of those people. Whew, God. But all right, let's get to the next topic. So RFK is claiming we're going to know the autism caused by September. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
We are going, at your direction, we are going to know by September. We've launched a massive testing and research effort that's going to involve hundreds of scientists from around the world. By September, we will know what has caused the autism epidemic, and we'll be able to eliminate those exposures.
So big. Think of that. So there was 1 in 10,000 children had autism, and now it's 1 in 31. Not 31,000, 31. That's a horrible statistic, isn't it? And there's got to be something artificial out there that's doing this. So you think you're going to have a pretty good idea, huh?
We will know by September.
There will be no bigger news conference than that. So that's it. If you can come up with that answer where you stop taking something, you stop eating something, or maybe it's a shot, but something's causing it. It can't be from 10,000 to. Can you imagine that, Marco? That's a big number. Thank you very much. You're doing great.
So let's just be real. I mean, don't we already know what the autism it's basically two things, right? It's the jab schedule that they got for the kids. Now, what is it? 70 jabs that these kids are forced to take these days. And it's that with probably a combination of all the chemtrail spraying that they got doing in the skies these days. We all know, you've seen it. You've looked up in the sky, you've seen those big long streaks going, and then all of a sudden there's just a bunch of fake clouds, stuck in the sky doing nothing. It was a beautiful day, and now it's just pure crap, right? But yeah, I mean, I think the big theory here is the whole jab scene, because why do kids need to take 70 jabs these days? I mean, I took maybe 3? 5, I don't know, back in the 90s. I don't even remember how many jabs I took. I wish it was 0, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, the whole thing with the hepatitis jab for kids, apparently I heard that, the hepatitis jab wasn't really quite selling to people because nobody needed it for any, if you not doing any weird needles or any sort of nefarious activity, you're probably not going to be needing the hepatitis jab. So they weren't selling any of them. So they had to they're like, oh, we'll just mandate it for kids, and they'll be forced to take it, and we'll be selling a ton of our hepatitis jabs, right? And frankly, they basically sold, your kids down the river for some extra money. I think that's basically what happened here. And hopefully if RFK figures out what the actual problem is, and say it is that, you're going to get the parents out there and the jab zealots who are like, oh, you cannot say that. Oh, my God. Because, see, they're going to have to gatekeep the fact that, they were so on board of jabbing their kids and just pumping them full of 70 jabs that they're going to have to live with that the rest of their life, right? And they're not going to like that. But, hey, if that's the case, then we don't want to hear it, and we just want to move on from what the cause is and make everything better for everybody, right? And not have any sort of narrative of, oh my God, you can't say that, right? Well, that whole thing needs to end. But all right, let's get to the next topic. So China is imposing a limit on American films that can be shown there after the tariffs, and Trump just doesn't care. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
Mr. President, China retaliated today by reducing the number of American films that can be shown there. What's your reaction to them now targeting cultural exports from the United States?
I think I've heard of worse things. Yes, please.
Yeah, of course Trump doesn't care. You think he cares about the movie industry and, whether or not it can go into China when he's in a trade war with China? No. First of all, I don't think any American really cares if, the number of movies is limited to go to China, because number one, it'll cause less of these movie studios to bow down to China. We've known a lot of bowing down to China in the past. And second, who cares? Okay, so some movie producers and maybe some actors in Hollywood are going to earn a little bit less money on a movie because it's not allowed to go into China. Do you think I care? Do you think the average American gives a damn about that? No, of course we don't. And that's not going to hurt us in our pocketbooks or do anything that, has any adverse effect on an American. So I'm basically, if apparently all they're really doing is affecting, Hollywood and their own people, because their own people aren't going to get to see movies. But yeah, I'm glad Trump had that reaction. Just oh yeah, cool, like good for them, But all right, that's it for today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll be seeing you.